like Montoya just put something out 3 hours ago about MedRunner's Drama again. Now, like, here's my stance. Let me talk about this. There's organizations in this game we play called Star Citizen, and each organization is different. It fits different. It's like a shoe. You know, not every shoe's gonna fit your foot, right? So like that's how you find an organization. Do you want RP, like an RP dedicated org? Do you want like an actual military focused FPS org? Do you want like med runners where, you know, they're going around helping people as medics, you know, to the point where they take it very seriously. I've heard that they stand in line at Port Al-Assad and they just wait. But that's what I want out of my doctors, you see. Like, if I'm in the game and I'm a citizen and I get hurt, dude, I want, like, my doctors ready for me, ready to go, waiting for that beacon. Like, boom. So, see, in that respect, they're giving you an invaluable service. But there's a lot of people that don't like the kind of the regimen that the med runners have. And I kind of wonder, okay, so let's see if Montoya talks about it a little bit more in depth, and let's see how deep down the rabbit hole we're getting here with this.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Do you want some tea? I've got some tea for you in the form of drama with this organization right here called MedRunners. Now, I know it's been a while since I did any kind of drama video. I tend to avoid the topic for the most part because I'll give you the reasons later. But let's pause over there. So I'll give you the scoop very, very quickly here.
Stunner.
Medical gameplay. The game loop for being a medic in Star Citizen is coming along great. You get shot, you go down. If you don't survive it, if no one rescues you, you lose your armor, your weapons, and everything else. You respawn in a gown. But if you want to keep your stuff, you can if someone rescues you. So there's a lot of medical focused orgs out there. MedRunners being one of the newer ones. Are they new? I don't know if they're new.
I don't think they're that
they basically blew up overnight.
This
is overnight back in January with their intro video, which is what I was playing here, and this got 132,000 views. So definitely took off. And if you listen to the music in the background of it.
Also,
very cool promo.
Also, I wonder if they paid to promote it. Just saying, that's a lot of views just starting out with a couple thousand subscribers. Like, but you know, because the YouTube algorithm usually doesn't do that. So I wonder, you know, not saying anything. I'm just wondering here. Like, I'm wondering if they actually paid to promote the video to get that many views as well, to get people into their organization. Oh yeah, you can do that, Wooks. I've never done that. Listen. In certain circumstances, I can get why YouTube content creators do that, but I have never done that. Like, I just don't feel like that doesn't feel good to me. You know, like that's just not for me. But some people do actually pay to get more views, essentially through YouTube. It's crazy. It's called promote.
But very also focused kind of trauma team, kind of inspiration from Cyberpunk, right? So if you played Cyberpunk and you love the trauma team idea, hey, you can do that in Star Citizen, which is awesome. So where is the drama coming in here? Well, it started not long ago because there was a guy named Carl who has a small YouTube channel, and he says, hey, you want to have fun in Star Citizen? Don't join this organization.
He's like, don't. We watched this one. We had MedRunners and we had this dude in our chat. It got a little heated. Do you guys remember that? It was about 2 weeks ago in the morning show. We had the MedRunners and we had this Carl dude in the chat all at once, man. That was wild. That was a wild time.
And I can tell you as an org leader, when you're trying to do everything right and you think you've got something cool going, and then someone comes along and just poops all over it. It's it's very disturbing and it's very hurtful. And the MedRunner guys, obviously, well, I can't speak for them.
You know, here's the thing. This is an interesting perspective because Montoya runs Test. He's a guy who creates organizations. He's a content creator, very similar to me. I create things. I create a very large alliance or a corporation in EVE Online, and it became a large alliance, the whole thing. So, like, we are types of people that like to create. So, you know, with Montoya, he's looking at it, I think, a little bit more biasly through the MedRunner side of things rather than this dude's. But like, it has a little bit of that drama.
But I'm pretty sure that they were not happy about this and didn't like what to say. More so, it gets more disturbing when people start agreeing, saying, "Yeah, you're right. I used to be a part of this, and they're draconian with their rules. I'm a member of this, and I agree with this video."
Nobody's forcing people to play it that way, though. That's the thing. Listen. My opinion right off the bat is like nobody's really forcing people to join MedRunners. Like, I don't understand why people get so upset. If you don't like it, just join another organization. Like, that's my angle on this.
But word of advice to the MedRunner guys is, if this is your first rodeo, congrats. This will keep happening. It doesn't get better. It'll keep happening. The bigger you get, the more it'll happen to. I went through this with Test Squadron plenty of times in the past.
We started off with a small,
tiny
I'd like to
org
hear
with
more
10
stories
people,
about him and Test.
and we started putting out memes and funny videos and things, and we grew very quickly to 100, to 300, to 1,000, and here we are today with, 21,000 and change.
It's awesome.
It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
No.
You will keep on getting this in one way or another, and it's basically, it's growing pains. For your
building,
the org leaders out there, I think this is a great time to bring this up. Whether you have an org of 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people, it doesn't matter. There will always come a time where people will say, this sucks, you suck, your org sucks. I don't like it. And that's fine, because there isn't an org which is perfect in every sense. Every single org is going to have its issues. But a lot of people will come into an org thinking there's one thing, and turns out it won't be that. And I think what we have in the situation here is basically an individual who joined them, didn't like what they saw, and say, look, your org sucks. Here are the reasons for it. And it's a great learning opportunity. Why didn't he like it? Why are these guys agreeing with it? Can we make changes to improve things and make things better? To give you a little personal story with Test Squadron, we were kind of, I don't say griefers, but more on the piracy side of things. And as we grew from 300 members to 400 to 500 members, more and more members in my org said, hey, I love being here. I love the friends I've made.
But the piracy thing, I guarantee that's what he's going to say. So they probably went more militaristic. You know, like when I create things too, I call it like freelancer. That's what when I structure an org or a corp, that's how I started out. I started out freelancer. He's right. There's a point at which you have like a cap. And after that cap, people start to like look at the ethical and moral issues behind what it is that they're joining, because it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's becoming a life unto itself. It's a very interesting thing what happens when humans congregate, and as it gets bigger and bigger, you have to kind of tweak things here and there. You got to define it more clearly, you know, and that's just part of the growing pains, depending upon how you want to grow it. Some people, they stop at a certain number. Some people say, hey, we don't want more than 10 people. Some people, 100, and that's it. You know, everybody's different, and that's my whole angle with this whole thing. It's like, if you don't like it, don't be part of it. I mean, it seems like it's that simple to me. So I never really understood people who get like really ultra like upset, like super touchy about it, or maybe just like for those types of people, take it out in game. If you're that upset, start a war and do it in game. But like man, the dude that made the video about this, like, we had him in our chat, and I was thinking to myself, like, dude, what's your thing, man? Like, why even put this video out? Like, what's the point? Just say your piece and be like, but man, he put a video out. He put a video out.
But I'm not interested in being a pirate. Not that that was our main focus, but there was a lot of what was happening. And you can change. You can focus on other things. What we did in Test was we created divisions for every single other kind of game loop. There's mining, there's salvaging, there is medical, there is exploration, there is piracy, there is everything else you can think of. If you can do it in Star Citizen, we're a casual org, we cater to everything. Because what people end up doing is that they don't end up focusing on one thing. Now,
here's my opinion. I don't know what Montoya is going to say, but here's what I like to have people focus on. Fun. Fun. When people go a little too seriously on it, you have to say, okay, do you want to start a special like task force inside this organization, right? And then you give them a squad. And you squad them up with people who are super serious about it in different elements of gameplay. You might have super serious miners. You might have super serious military dudes, super serious pirates, super serious whatever it is. of course there's things that aren't going to fit depending upon how you're piecing this organization together. But eventually you're going to get people that want to take aspects of the game and take it much more seriously. So you got to create those types of divisions. Then as a creator, somebody who's making this, trying to get this cohesive where all the pieces and parts are able to be fluid and functioning and execute and be effective, then you have to make sure that some of those pieces and parts don't come back to hit you. That's the hardest part when you're growing something larger and you say, okay, well, you like to play the game more seriously. So here's XYZ. You can be part of this. You can grow it. You can do it within the confines of this. And then you have to be very careful because usually that element gets out of control and then fights the thing that it's a part of to try and take it. That's something you have to be very careful about when you're building these things. Very careful.
I don't want to give you guys advice.
Right,
but
Ash,
if
right.
all you're going to be focusing on is just...
It is such a hard thing to balance. Ash is absolutely right. You have to be careful compartmentalizing orgs because it can cause an org to fracture and fail, which is why a lot of people, they just do one type of organizational setup, right? The most successful ones are the ones that gobble the world, that say, yes, we do everything, but this is how we do it, and we're going to compartmentalize it, and it's exactly what Ash is talking about. And he's right. You have to be very careful when you compartmentalize an org to do multiple things. And you have to make sure that the people who you assign as the leaders actually are on good terms with one another. Very, very important.
Just the medical game loop. What happens?
Right.
The other 90%.
And my whole point is this. For me, building things like that, it seems very serious, right? And that's my type of fun. That's what I like to do. But I don't push that on other people. And that's the thing that I think is the really most important thing about all this. Is like, if you push it on somebody else to the point where like they're not having fun anymore, then one of two things needs to happen. One, you need to say, okay, I'm pushing this on this person who doesn't like to play this. Perhaps this guy doesn't fit. Perhaps this guy does not fit in this organization. Then you have a talk with that person and you say, hey man, do you really like it here? Tell me what you're thinking, because I feel like you're not vibing and you don't want to have, our kind of fun, right? And you got to be really communicative when you do these things. You really do. But on the grand scheme of it all, if you're not having fun, no matter how you like to play your games, just don't be part of it. Just don't be part of it.
Right,
right. It is about
where there
people
is no
figures. It's totally
medical
about
emergency, which may happen.
It's about people, man.
It's always best to try spread yourself out
Absolutely.
along
Always
as many other
fun.
game loops as possible, but you can still focus on this as the main thing. That would be my advice, but obviously do what you want. It is your org. And those complaining, saying how bad things are because they did this or did that. One guy says that he was wearing his uniform off duty. Look, how they want to run their org is up to them. And if this is how they want to do it, there's always other options if you don't like it.
Right.
Which is the truth of the matter is people come and go all the time. So when you join an org and it doesn't offer you what you want, there's tons of other options out there. Go check them out. There's plenty of smaller orgs who would love to have new members come visit them, and maybe they cater better to your situation, what you want. It does.
And there's only going to be a few larger orgs like Test that have leaders like Montoya that can weather the storm, that can actually handle all the bullshit, that can handle all the negativity from all the members, that can actually do something constructively with that. And that takes a special, special person. Like Montoya and I. I feel like I can get along with Montoya on that kind of aspect of gaming, because I'm very similar to Montoya in that respect.
Happen. So that was one of the first drama things that happened. This video did very well itself because, look, MedRunners got big. 132,000 views. Here's a guy saying, don't do it. Don't join them. 30,000 views. Not bad. I think it's definitely an interesting topic. And look, his points were not terrible. I watched this during my live stream. He mentioned some things about conflict resolution and how the guys on the top were bad at it. Again, in situations like that, being an org leader doesn't come easy.
No,
it's not a role people fall into and they are perfect at it.
Because you have to deal with people. Like, that's the craziest thing about org leaders. In any role, in any function that you are in an org, if you have some type of responsibility, you're dealing with people. And that's the thing. Because a lot of time with games, there's that escapism thing where you're trying to unplug and you're trying to just like, I want to have fun and play a game. But like to me, it's always been about the people. To me, it's fun to have like player to player interaction and talk. So I've always been kind of like a leader type. I've always liked to do that type of thing because like in the end, I think people are actually pretty cool and that they can get along with one another and that they can focus on fun and have a great time. And that's really where the focus has to be. Period.
From the start, everyone needs to start somewhere, and if this is the first kind of community they run, they will figure it out. So give them time, and if things are rough in MedRunners, give them some time. They will adjust, as all org leaders do. They take a look at the situation, they think, what can we do about it? You have your 10,000 meetings about it, and you change. So my advice to those of you who are interested in MedRunners, don't be put off by this kind of stuff. Flavors may vary. People will love it.
Right.
People will hate it.
Right.
But best thing to do is just check it out.
Yep.
And look, they're doing okay. 2,300 members. You are doing just fine.
What's
but the drama doesn't end there because...
Oh, no. I was about to click off.
Here we have a guy who is in chat in the game saying, hey, go to medrunner.space, the website, and purchase our $2, saying our because he's pretending that he's in MedRunners, purchase our $2 month package to receive medical aid and have that to get a discount. So I was doing a live stream at the time when I saw this. I go, really? Is that true? They're charging money? And I went to the site and I clicked on services. And I started scrolling.
Hold on. Put a 1 if you think they did that. We don't know what the answer is. Put a 1 if you think they have a $2 monthly subscription charge to go out and heal people. You honestly think that they did this? I gotta say 2. To this. I can't believe that they would do this. I'm putting the 2 down. I'm the only 2 here. I can't believe that they would do that. Hold on. You stop being different. You always put different number. All right, yeah. Matt Style and I are in agreement. Futz can't decide. Let's see. Let's see. Did they do it?
And look, I don't see it. I don't see the spot where they're saying pay us.
All right, there we go. I had to be rational, man. Oh, thank God. Could you imagine if it was 1? Oh my God. Oh my God.
$2 and we'll do anything. So it took me all of 5 seconds to realize this was not true. And this blew up on Reddit when this first dropped because this guy's saying, hey, this guy's trying to basically say he's in MedRunners and he's saying you got to pay us $2. Now, I haven't read the terms of service in Star Citizen in a while, but I'm fairly sure that you cannot charge real money for in-game services.
That's why I can't wait to Web3.
Unless something's changed, but I doubt it. And Reddit caught along very quickly to realize, yeah, this guy has basically got an 8-year probation of Spectrum. So he cannot post on the RSI forums or on Spectrum. And I guess a lot of people are surprised that even if you're banned from the forums themselves, you can still play the game and write in-game. I don't know if this is something that CIG wants to address or even if they think this is something worth addressing because there are individuals who lose their temper in the forums and get banned for saying something stupid.
God.
Should their access to the game be taken away for their stupidity? I don't think so. I think you should be able to play the game, but maybe you are muted in chat because if you're causing problems on Spectrum to the point where Spectrum is banning you, then your access to in-game chat should also be taken away, in my opinion. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Let me know. But anyway, the problem here was he's saying, hey, I'm in...
I mean, like, honestly, I'm a dude that gets banned all the time for anything and everything I say, and it's not even out of the question crazy when I say it, believe it or not. Like, I'm just being super respectful, and anybody sees DG, they just, like, kick me out instantly. Like, I'm like, nobody loves me. Moderators usually hate me, you know? And I always wonder about that. I'm very respectable in my posts. Don't understand it.
MedRunners, go give us $2 a month and we will come rescue you. Not true. Morpholo just jumping in here saying this highlights how we need some org tools and features. I guess what he was implying here was that there must be a way that if someone is in chat pretending to be someone from another org, maybe mouse over the name and the org name pops up, or maybe the org logo showing up next to the name itself.
That'll definitely be down.
That is a partial solution.
We want that. We want that already. I don't think that's a crazy ask at this point. I really don't think that's a crazy ask at this point in development to ask for org tools. I think that's something they could work with.
Morphologist, I don't think that solves the issue, because if someone really wants
I'll tell you what I used to love: EVE Online's organizational tools, man. For their corp tools, alliance tools. I love their share system. Dude, what you could do in EVE Online, just do that as far as organizational features, because the organizational features were phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's like they thought of every step that you needed to do in order to create something. As a creator, I really enjoyed those tools.
to damage an org, they don't need to pretend. They can actually join that org. They can start an alt account, pay the $45, and join the org and do that anyway. But it's just a little bit extra to make people realize that, hey, this guy is not who he says he is. So yeah, org tools, guild tools, definitely something we do need.
Yeah.
Having an org logo appear next to your name in chat, what do you guys think about that? I think it's a nice solution. Yep. I don't think it solves the problems if someone really want to do something damaging. MedRunner is obviously very, very upset by this.
I mean,
to the point
Twitch
where they put up a whole tweet, they put up
a
pop-up on their site. My advice to you guys, MedRunners, take it or leave it, is don't overly focus on this. This is just the first. If it is your first drama, there'll be plenty more. Yes, I know, exciting, right? There'll be plenty more drama coming your way. Take it from me. And I can look down the list of the top 10 or top 20 orgs in this game. Every single org leader has had their fair share of garbage thrown at them, and it's going to happen. So I'm sorry this happened to you guys. I'm sorry it was so public and widespread. But at the same time, I'm fairly sure that everyone who needs to know or needs to know anything about MedRunners is aware of this. And I don't think you need to bring this matter any more attention than what you have already. So, yeah, move along from that and just get back to enjoying the game. And when it comes down to enjoying the game, we realize, yes, this guy didn't like it, but you will never please everyone all the time. And this goes out to every single org leader out there. If you're thinking about starting an org yourself, there is no way you will please every single person in your org all the time. There will always be people who don't like something. And the bigger you get, the more of those people you have,
the more she likes you. No, I mean, okay. Sorry, I'll never be that big, honey. I'm sorry, Christy. I'm sorry. Next.